Greetings, science fiction and fantasy enthusiasts. You're listening to No Deodorant in Outer Space. Now, let's get started.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to a preview episode of No Deodorant in Outer Space. My name is Ryan Sean O'Reilly, and I am joined by my cousin, Kaelin O'Reilly. Kaelin.
Hello.
Kaelin from Kaelin Reads.
Good evening.
The video book blogger and also book reviewer on Goodreads. In the next upcoming episode of the podcast, we're going to be covering The Last Unicorn, which came out in 1968 from Viking Press. We're also going to be talking about the film The Last Unicorn, which came out in 1982 and starred Mia Farrow, among others. We just finished recording. We talked about the book. We talked about the movie. We talked about unicorns. We talked about Schmedrick, the bumbling wizard. Mm-hmm. We're recording remotely. Kaelin is at her house. I'm at my house, but I'm recording outside Chicago. You can hear the birds chirping sometimes, the train going by. It's a magical forest all of its own. We discussed unicorns. What else did we discuss over the last hour or two?
We talked about Red Bull.
We talked about Red Bull, the drink.
And the Red Bull.
And the actual Red Bull.
The bowl. Yeah. And we talked about music by America.
The band America, who contributed to the soundtrack of the film.
And they did. And the multiple, the soundtrack, and then the multiple celebrity names who voiced the characters. There's quite a few.
Yes, and we talked about the lyrical quality of the prose written by Peter S. Beagle. And we also talked about Rankin and Bass, the famous studio that did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, who did this animated feature, The Last Unicorn. We got into a little bit of their history, didn't we?
We did. They've done many, many films, a lot of kids and animate, holiday films that you remember growing up. So they were very, very prolific and everywhere, so they've done a lot of things.
Yeah, and incidentally, Peter S. Beagle, the author of this book, wrote the screenplay, which was turned into this animated film. So we'll invite you to tune in later in this month and listen to us as we discuss this book in a one-on-one special episode with me and Kaelin, and later in the month we'll also discuss the film. So tune in for that and get your fill of unicorns, but make sure that if you are turned into a princess, you're still able to turn back into a unicorn if need be.
Yeah, that's very, very important.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be without unicorns. So.
That's right. That would be a problem. So tune in later this month. You can find that out so you're not without that valuable information. Okay? All right. We'll see you then.
Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.
For more information on the topics discussed in this episode, or to read our show notes and find us on social media, visit nodeodorant.com. Thanks for listening to our show. And always remember, there is no deodorant in outer space.